Thank you everyone for coming today. Crack of dawn. You must be cracked. You must be cracked to come at the crack of dawn. Okay. Which verse is it today?
First verse of 15th.
Canto 1. We're hearing from Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the science of God. Wow. The science of God. That sounds really revolutionary, doesn't it? I mean, we've heard of Christian, Muslim, Hindu, Jew, so many faiths, but a science. Wow. That's a new thing. Actually, it's not new, it's very ancient. It's called Sanatana Dharma, the eternal occupation of a living entity. Yeah. So that's systematically presented in these books, Srila Prabhupada, for the first time in English, Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita. And he took this science to the West, 1965-66, and established a society for propagating this science. People, of course, they think, well, it's Hinduism. That's not actually Hinduism. Nobody knows what it means. There's so many, aspects of Hinduism, and there's no philosophy. So actually, this is Sanatana Dharma, science of God. Which you're very welcome today to come here. Srimad Bhagavatam is in 12 cantos. It's from the first canto, right? What verse?
Chapter 15.
Chapter 15.
Next one.
The Pandavas retire timely. Chapter 12. This is one of the Puranas. That means that the science is illustrated with events, histories of the universe, which will elucidate the science. Bhagavad Gita is like the basic philosophy. For instance, that we are not this body, and if we think that this body we're an illusion, we're just getting bound by the laws of karma, take more and more births in this material world. But understanding our position and the position of Krishna as a Supreme Personality of God, we can free ourselves from the laws of karma and attain a state beyond all measures, birth, old age, disease, or death. This material nature in which we live in is only temporary, but there is a higher nature which is permanent. And just as we are permanent, although we're changing bodies, our real home is in that permanent nature. And so this is like basic philosophy. And to attain that perfect nature, it's a question of surrendering our false ego, bodily concept of life, and so on. Let's go back to yoga. Just a little summary. So, this Bhagavad Gita is like the school leaving certificate that we understand, to understand Srimad Bhagavatam, which means the beautiful story of the Supreme Personality of God. But we have to understand Bhagavad Gita, the basics, that we're not this body, that we should act in such a way that we free ourselves from karma, and we do that by serving Krishna, Bhakti Yoga, and getting, this is the basic teachings. Krishna's the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who's in the 10th canto of this Srimad Bhagavatam. We're just on the first canto. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sutta Uvacha. Evam Krishna Saka Vishnu Radha Ragya Vikalpita Nana Shankaspadam Rupam Krishna Vishlesha Kashita. And I forgot to sing the song. It's usually a nice song to sing. This song is about the 10th canto, actually, about the spiritual world. In the spiritual world, there's also personalities, activities, but it's all eternal, full of knowledge and bliss. So this song about that place and the people there. It's about Krishna and his relationships of love and Jaya Radha Madhava Punjabi Anna Tulsi Devi ki, Aki Devi ki, Sri Hari Ram Sankirtan ki, Sankirtan Yagya ki, Transcendental Book Distribution ki, Transcendental Prasadam Distribution ki, Transcendental Compensation ki, Transcendental Bhaktivinoda ki. Go Premanande, all grace and some devotees, all grace and some devotees, all grace and some devotees, all grace Sri Guru and Sri Ganya, Krishna Prabhupada. Okay, back to the text. Sorry, I think I should have started with the song and then gone to the text. Anyway, Sutta Uvacha, Evam Krishna Saka Krishna, Bracharagya Vikalpita, Nana Sanka Aspadam Rupam, Krishna Vishlesha Kashitaha, Sutta Uvacha, Evam Krishna Saka Krishna, Bracharagya Vikalpita, Maha Shankashpatam Rupam, Krishna Vishlesha Kashitaha,
Sutta Uvacha, Krishna Saka Krishna, Bracharagya Vikalpita, Sankaspatam Rupam, Krishna Vishlesha Kashita,
Sutta Uvacha, Evam Krishna Saka Krishna, Bhatta Rajya Vikalpita, Nana Shankaspadam Rupam, Krishna Vishlesha Karshita,
Sutta Uvacha, Evam Krishna Sakha Krishno
Evam Krishna Sakha Krishna
Ratra Rajna Vikalpita Nana Shankaspadam Rupam Krishna Vishlesha Karshita
Sutta Uvacha
Sutta Uvacha
Evam Krishna Sakha Krishno
Evam Krishna Sakha Krishna
Radha Rashna Vikalpita Sakasparam Rupam Krishna Vishlesha Karshita
Krishna Vishlesha Karshita
And ladies feet.
Evam Krishna Sakha Krishna
Evam Krishna Sakha Krishna
Ratra Rajna Vikalpita
Rajaraja Vikalpita
Sankaspadam Rupa
Nanasangaspadam Rupam
Krishna Vishlesha Karshita
Krishna Vishlesha Karshita. Okay. Sutta Uvacha.
Sutta Uvacha
Sutta Goswami said. Evam.
Evam
Thus. Krishna Sakha, the celebrated friend of Krishna. Krishna. Arjuna. Bratra. By his other brother. Raga. King Yudhisthira. Vikalpita. Speculated. Nana. Various. Shankar Aspatam. Based on many doubts. Rupam. Forms. Krishna. Lord Sri Krishna. Vishlesha. Feelings of separation. Rashita. Became greatly bereaved. Translation and purport by His Founder Acharya, His Divine Grace, Mahavishnu Swami, Dr. Radha Swami, Srila Prabhupada. Sutta Goswami said, Arjuna, the celebrated friend of Lord Krishna, was grief-stricken because of his strong feeling of separation from Krishna. Over and above all, Maharaj Yudhisthira's speculative inquiries. Here's your feet. Sutta Goswami said, Arjuna, the celebrated friend of Lord Krishna, was grief-stricken because of his strong feeling of separation from Krishna. Over and above, Maharaj Yudhisthira's speculative inquiries. Being too much aggrieved, Arjuna practically became choked up, and therefore it was not possible for him to reply properly to the various speculative inquiries of Maharaj Yudhisthira. I want to just fast forward a little bit, so I'll read the Sanskrit quickly, and then read the translation. With your permission.
Yes, Maharaj.
Shokena Shishad Vadana Rit Saroja Ataprabha Vibhumtam Ivan Yusmaran Nas or Not Prati Vashitam. Due to grief, Arjuna's mouth and lotus-like heart had dried up. Therefore his body lost all luster. Now, remembering the Supreme Lord, he could hardly utter a word in reply. Text 3. Krishrena samstabhya shucha paninam vija netrayo parokshena samunadir pranay yatkantya Katara. With great difficulty, he checked the tears of grief that smeared his eyes. He was very distressed because Lord Krishna was out of his sight, and he increasingly felt affection for him. Text 4. Sakyam Maitram Sauridam Cha Sara Yadishu Sham Smaran Nipam Agratam Ityaha Baspa Gad Gadaya Gira. Remembering Lord Krishna and his well wishes, benefactions, intimate familial relations, and his chariot driving, Arjuna, overwhelmed and breathing very heavily, began to speak. Purport. The Supreme Living Being, capital S, capital L, capital B, is perfect in all relations with his pure devotee. Sri Arjuna is one of the typical pure devotees of the Lord, reciprocating in the fraternal relationship. And the Lord's, this means brotherly, and the Lord's dealings with Arjuna are displays of friendship of the highest perfect order. He was not only a well-wisher of Arjuna, but actually a benefactor. And to make it still more perfect, the Lord tied him into a family relationship by arranging Subhadra's marriage with him. And above all, the Lord agreed to become a chariot driver of Arjuna in order to protect his friend from warfare risks. And the Lord became actually happy when he established the Pandavas to rule over the world. Arjuna remembered all these one after another, and thus he became overwhelmed with such thoughts. Srila Prabhupada ki. Oma Gyanati Mandasya Dhananjana Salakaya Chakshura Mudyantina Tasmai Sri Gurave Sri Chaitanya Mahavishnu Swami Bhutale Swayam Rupadavakam Radha LondonIshvara Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Radha Shivasati Gaurav Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So how do we begin to talk about this? Who is this Krishna? And the capital letters give it away in the first sentence. The Supreme Living Being, SLB. So that's a very interesting concept. The Vedas say, Nitya Nityanam, Chaitanas Chaitanam, Ekabha Bhavanam Vedadati Kamam. Amongst all living beings, Nityas, eternal beings, there's one supreme eternal living being, and he's maintaining all of them. So what is a living being? You may ask. Eternal living being. So that comes back to Bhagavad Gita. Like I said, the school living certificate. First thing we have to understand, second chapter, Bhagavad Gita. Never was there a time when I did not exist. Krishna says, nor you, nor all these kings, nor in the future shall any of us cease to be. So that means that we are permanent living beings. And Krishna is a permanent living being. But he is the supreme. So you may say, well, I don't believe this or anything. What's practical? Practical is that we're changing our body from childhood to youth to old age. Everybody. Even Mr. Rishi Sunak and Mr. Biden, Putin, all our friends, political friends, who think they're in control. They're all changing their body. So, how are they in control? You want to think about it? There's an amazing verse I'm thinking about in Bhagavad Gita 3:5. I'm trying to learn it. Nahi kashid shanam api sadhutisya apya krit. Yeah. No, yatra hi avashah karma. Sorry, karate hi avashah karma. Sarva prakriti jagana. That means nobody can cease from doing something even for a moment. Everyone is forced to act helplessly according to the modes of nature that he has acquired. You see, where is our freedom? We have to do something, we have to think, we have to move, because we're alive. What is this liveness? Liveness and deadness. This is the pure well. The table is dead, it doesn't move around unless I move it. It doesn't grow, it doesn't have offspring, it doesn't dwindle, it doesn't die. It's not like a living being, this table, or this mind. It doesn't have symptoms of life. So nobody can cease from doing something, not even for a moment. We're helpless. We're helpless, we have to do something next. I remember when I used to ask my mother, when I was a child, Mummy, what should I do next? Did you ever ask your mother? Because the mother would tell you to do something, and then you do it, and then, okay, then you finish that thing, and then, Mummy, what shall I do next? Okay, you go and play at this, you go and play at that. We're helpless. We were born in a particular, I was born in Acox Green, Birmingham, UK, 10th of February 1945. I didn't have any choice. So and then I was brought up to speak English, had a particular kind of body, according to my upbringing and family and conditioning. Where's the freedom? So the big leaders of society thinking they're free. It's madness. Nobody's free. We're forced to act helplessly, going to the modes of Mr. Putin. He thinks he's Russian just because he was born. Just like I was thinking when I was in Uruguay, recently in South America. We stayed in a flat. Somebody let us stay in a flat. And they're planting these palm trees. And I was thinking, what's the difference between us and a palm tree? We're stuck in the ground, and it has to grow there. You can't move. But we can move, but we're stuck in the ground of our particular home, particular language, particular culture. Can't get outside there. So, amongst all living beings, there's one supreme living being maintaining all the others. This is our basic philosophy. That amongst all living beings, we're all eternally parts of a supreme living being. Just like my fingers are part of my bodily whole. My nose, my ears, my senses are part of the whole body. So we are also parts of a supreme living being entity. And we have a function in that relationship with the whole. It's fairly reasonable. Because even scientists, they try and find out where we come from. They say a Big Bang. But where's personality come from? The scientists create persons yet. They can create AI. They can make a model of Taylor Swift, and she can sing. But it's a model, But the real person, Taylor Swift, whoever it is, Rishi Sunak, somewhere else, and he's independent from that model. The scientists can't explain where life has come from. The Papa challenged them. He said, life doesn't come from matter. If life came from matter, then they would cure all diseases. They did a little injection, okay, bring him back to life. But they've never created life. So many living beings are created by a chicken lays an egg, and because of a male and female chicken, and lay an egg hatches out. That's more than the scientists can do. You know? The challenge, Prabhupada challenged the sun. I challenge the scientists also. Well, you haven't created life. Big bluff. You've only created increased death with your atom bombs and pollution with your motor cars and blah, blah, blah. So, you know, scientists are trying to, they can't explain either where personality comes from. Personality comes from personality. There must be a supreme personality who is controller of this whole, just like London is controlled by the traffic police, the army, so many ways it's controlled by personality. So why the whole universe shouldn't be controlled by a supreme personality? And millions of universes, other universes, why they shouldn't be controlled? It's reasonable. Ishvara Paramakrishna, there's a verse in the Ramaswami. The supreme controller is Krishna, Ishvara Parama, supreme. We're all controllers, but we're not supreme controllers. But in Hare Krishna movement we say there must be a supreme controller. But trouble is, for instance, I was brought up as a Christian, you know, and I love Lord Jesus. He was my guru till you know, the hormones kicked in at the age of 10 or 12 or 14 or something. And you start to forget about God and you think about opposite sex. So you can't think properly. So, but until that time I was a firm believer that there was a God the Father. But the problem is, who is that God the Father? You're supposed to love Him. You don't know who He is. With all due respect for the believers in the Bible, please tell me who is God the Father. I challenge you, tell me. There's something in the Psalms of David, he has beautiful eyes, he has something around. He sits at the right hand of the Father. Jesus sits at the right hand. So Jesus has the right hand. God has the right hand. He's omnipotent, He's all-powerful, He's omniscient. But who is He? What's He like? So, you know, Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita is teaching us about the personality of God, so we can develop a relationship with Him. If we don't know who He is, how we can have a relationship with Him? Then we just have these temporary relationships. My mom has passed away. My father's passed away. My sister's passed away. My uncle's passed away. You know, they're just passing away. They change their body, and they either burn the body, or they put in a grave. And then where have they gone? What about my love relationship with my mom and dad? So then we're all disappointed with these kind of relationships. So it's natural for us to find a permanent loving relationship with somebody. Yeah. Because relationships are pleasurable. Well, in the material world they're not pleasurable. You get broken hearted. But there is, according to the Vedic scriptures, we each of us have an eternal relationship with the Supreme Being, which we've forgotten. And these relationships in this material world are just like, you know, imitation of the real relationship, just like duplicates, you know. But the real loving relationship is there but now it's covered by forgetfulness. That's the philosophy. So the basic philosophy is that now, in the human form of life, we should awaken our relationship with Krishna. So this story is about Krishna when he disappeared from this planet 5,000 years ago. And Arjuna was his close friend, and he knew he passed away. Or he not passed away in the sense that we pass away. Because Krishna and his body are not different. Ajopi sam avayama, bhutanama, aviyovi sam, prakritim samadistaya, sambhavami atma, amaya, atmamaya. Krishna says, although I am unborn and my transcendental body never deteriorates, and although I am the Lord of all living beings, and still I appear by my own will in my eternal transcendental form. Krishna is not under the modes of material nature like we are. We're forced to act helplessly. But Krishna is not forced to act. Just like Rishi Sunak, if he wants to, visit, what's that jail down the road? The big jail in London? The big jail. Huh? Brixton, yes. You ever been to Brixton jail? I have. Yeah, this place. Anyway, it's Rishi Sunak, the Prime Minister, wants to visit Brixton jail. And some prisoner thinks, hey, Rishi Sunak's in prison. Is that reasonable? He's the Prime Minister, he can't go to jail. So if Krishna comes, he's not under the laws of material nature. Yeah. And he comes for a particular purpose. Prakritam, you know the verses. He comes to please the devotees, pure devotees. He comes to smash the demons. He comes to establish religion. Age after age, age after age. So when Krishna left this planet 5,000 years ago, he disappeared. Just like the sun sinks in the west. The sun is not dead. Some foolish people, they think the sun is dead. But the same sun rises in the morning. It appears again. So Krishna's appearance and disappearance is going on with huge periods of time. Almost incalculable. Billions of years. Krishna appears, disappears, and then he appears in another universe. There's so many universes. Krishna's appearing and disappearing and doing these pastimes. It's inconceivable. So Krishna doesn't disappear, it's like an ordinary man. But Arjuna is left behind. So he's feeling so much separation from his beloved Krishna friend. And so Yudhishthira, Arjuna's brother, elder brother, has been asking, why are you looking so miserable? Has this happened? Has this happened? Has this happened? Has this happened? And Arjuna is just overwhelmed with grief, feeling of separation from Krishna. And this is what this movement is about. It's about feeling the most intense love of God. That's the idea. Just like if you had a girlfriend or a boyfriend, and when they were away, you really felt separation. And in Shakespeare it said, parting is such sweet sorrow. Separation is such a sweet sorrow. So Arjuna is feeling this sorrow. You see, he was in a eternal relationship as a friend. But the 6 Goswamis, you see that picture on the altar, they say we can have a relationship with Krishna as a servant, as a friend. We can even have a relationship with Krishna as our child. Krishna can be our child. Yeah. Krishna can be our husband or a lover. There are so many relationships with Krishna. Or indirectly we can have a relationship with Krishna as our enemy, and so many other relationships. So this chanting Hare Krishna is to purify our hearts so that we can discover by practice and in association with discovering our eternal loving relationship with Krishna. So I've said enough now. If there's any questions, we good. A little time for questions, please.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, you were speaking about how we're helplessly being controlled by the modes and our conditioning. But can you speak something on how your Prabhupada mentions we have some independence, we have some free will? Can you speak something on that?
Yeah, we have minute free will. We can go on according to the modes of material nature. Prakriti kriyamanani gunai karmani sar ahankara vimudhama katamati. We can go on thinking this dream that we are the controller. That's one option. Just like we jump in our car and we try to drive to the airport and we're stuck in a traffic jam. Okay, we bought the car and we're driving the car. You have minute free will, but we're stuck now. But that's one option. That I am the ahankara, I am the enjoyer. I am the controller. That's actually an illusion. But we can stick to that illusion. Or else, we can get rid of this ahankara, false ego, and understand we are part and parcel of Krishna. We're servants of Krishna. We're not servants of this material world. We're not created by the chemicals. We're never born, we'll never die. We can accept Bhagavad Gita and we can try and surrender. This is our two choices. Otherwise we're forced to act helplessly. Krishna says, according to our surrender to Him, then we will develop our relationship. So we don't say Christians don't have a relationship with Krishna, or the Muslims don't have a relationship, or the Jews don't have a relationship. They may do, but it may not be enough to get that, to develop that pure love of God, so that they can get free from material nature, escape from the prison house of birth and death. You see? According, as they say, the idea of Lord Chaitanya is that in this life we escape from the clutches of material nature. You see, so it's up to us what we want. Whether you want to stay in this material world and be controlled by material nature, or you want to go back to our real home in the spiritual world. So the choice is there, and the process is simple. Chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. This, according to Lord Chaitanya, Prabhupada just purifies our heart so that we give up our material attachments. So take to this process, we want everyone to take to this process. We go on the street, we say, everyone chant Hare Krishna. You know, to give them a chance, give people a chance to take up their eternal relationship with Krishna. So this choice is there. But we are aggressive, we go on the street, we can't force people, but we can force people to hear Hare Krishna. And we can encourage them to say Hare Krishna. We can encourage them to dance and sing and take prasadam. To make that choice by friendship, by being a little being friendly with the people, you can try and persuade them. It's called Sankirtan. We want to persuade the whole world to chant Hare Krishna, but it may not be possible, but we can try. So this choice is there for every living being. But for the animals, plants, it's difficult for them to get free from the modes. The dog is always acting like a dog. Tree is always acting like a tree, even though he heard Hare Krishna. You know, he can't change his modes in this life. But a human being, even in this life, if he gets the association of devotees, he can change. And they think, wow, these Hare Krishnas, they seem so happy. And they're not drinking, not taking no drugs, they're not having illicit sex, they're not gambling, they're not eating meat. Look at me, I have to work hard to get drunk to be happy. Why don't I join Hare Krishnas? It's free. Just chant Hare Krishna. We want to give people a chance to get out of their rut, you know, of bad habits, which are binding them to suffering, actually. So we're here, actually, Hare Krishna, we're here to give people a choice. And if they want to stay in this material, well, that's their business. You know, millions of species of life. You can be a frog, you can be a dog, be a mosquito body, tree body, fish body, so many bodies. Now you have this human life, now you can escape from birth, old age, disease, and so we're giving them a choice. Prabhupada's books are so amazing. And what I'm saying is nothing compared to what Prabhupada is saying in his book. If you don't have Prabhupada's books, you must get them today. I'll give my special blessing, sign them, I'll give my special blessing in your book. Who has Bhagavad Gita? Everyone has Bhagavad Gita. Who doesn't have Bhagavad Gita? Nobody does now. Oh, wow, that's good. You don't have, okay. You should get one today. Or your card with you. We have a card reader. Question?
Yes, question.
Okay. 1 minute for question. Actually, 9 seconds. Go on.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj. You're very well known in this movement for excellent Harinam Sankirtan. Could you give us all some tips on how to...
Could you give us all, you're very well known in this movement, Maharaj, for having very amazing Harinam Sankirtan. Could you give us some tips on how to create the right mood for Harinam Sankirtan?
So if you go on the street and try it. That's correct. There's no mood for Harinam. The holy name is Kali Kale Nama Rupe Krishna Avatar. Krishna is descended in the form of the holy name. So your mood is you're giving to others. Because they don't know. Hare Krishna! Excuse me, sir. Can you say Hare Krishna? What? What's that? Then you can have a little card. Can you say Hare Krishna? Hare Krishna. What's it all about then? Who is this Hare Krishna? It's like, the big one up there. He's the big one up there. Or we can say, it means God bless you. So you don't have to say it. Because if they say it, they're doomed. Yeah. This is the power of the holy name. It's like, ultimate vaccination. Really. Margarita said, if anybody even hears the holy name of Chansoi, sooner or later, that's going to fructify. They will become devotees. Yeah. So you're doing the supreme welfare work. This is the mood. There's a story of Ramanujacharya. I've forgotten the details. He was told, he was given a mantra. Don't tell to anyone. It's a secret mantra. Because whoever hears it, they get free from birth, old age, disease, and death. But don't tell to anyone. So Ramanuja was one of our acharyas, previous acharya. And what is this? Everyone will get free from birth, old age, disease, and death. So he went and started screaming, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna. So this is what we're doing. Believe. It depends on how much you believe it. If you really believe it, then no problem with mood. You just go out there with anything, a pot or a pan. The first Hare Krishna festival, Radha festival in San Francisco. Nobody had cartels. They had a few instruments. They just banged with spoons and pots and chanted Hare Krishna. They weren't musicians. Anyone could say Hare Krishna. And that's the order of Lord Chaitanya. Wherever you go, whoever you meet, give them the instructions of Bhagavad Gita. And Yaridaki Charika, Krishna Upadesh, Amara Agyagur. What are the instructions of Bhagavad Gita? They always chant, the great souls are always glorifying Krishna. Krishna says that there's no servant more dear to me than one who is chanting the holy names, telling other people about Krishna. So if you want to get out of the sufferings of repeated birth and death, old age and disease, just take to this chanting. That's the mood. Let me get out of this place. It's the last thing I ever do. Was a Rolling Stones song, right? I just want to get out of this place. It's the last thing I ever do. So that's the mood. Let's get out of this place. Who wants to grow old and die? Who wants to
the animals, Maharaj.
Who wants to, have diseases? Well, let's get out of this place. Like, who wants to stay in Brixton jail? It's a terrible place. Bad enough. Just, when you're out of the jail, it's bad enough. But if you're in the jail, it's even worse. This is death row. Death row. Somebody was telling me the other day, yesterday, that some down St. Giles, they used to execute people. They asked him, are you a Roman Catholic or are you a Protestant? And he happened to say Roman Catholic. So they immediately disemboweled him, cut off his head. Who wants to live in it? We're all going to be disemboweled. We're all going to have our heads cut off sooner or later. Why stick around? And that this opportunity, Hare Krishna, this is the mood. Let's escape from this hellish place. Srila Prabhupada, and Prabhupada that did it. About what, I couldn't have thought of this on my own. But Prabhupada pointed out, you don't have to grow old and die anymore. You don't have to have diseases anymore. You can have an eternal spiritual body. You can even be a friend of Krishna like Arjuna. You can be a mother of Krishna, have a maternal relationship. You can have all these relationships with Krishna in the spiritual world, which is more real than this world. This world is unreal. It's passing. All things must pass. So why don't we get back home to where we really belong? That's our mood, I know. The mood is all these poor people, all the lonely people. Where do they come from? They come because they forgot Krishna. They forgot Krishna. They came to this material world. The material world is one advantage. That Krishna comes and he displays his pastimes. And Lord Chaitanya comes, he starts this movement, gets us all going on Harinam. So thank you very much. Time is up. Srila Prabhupada ki.
Jai. Tolis Mahavishnu Maharaj ki.
Jai.
Mahaprasadam ki.
Jai.
We don't have time for any more questions. It's up to you.
As you wish.
I'll give a very quick answer to the next question.
One word answer.
Your ladies' side. Our mother's side. Question.
No question.
It can't be no question. If there's no question, no prasadam. No breakfast. Mothers, you have to save us. We're really hungry.
Why did they want me to ask the question?
Please. Give us a break. You're not the mother. I'm the chairman of this meeting.
In the translation, Krishna was called as Arjuna as well. Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Oh yeah, nice point. Yes, I noticed that.
Yeah.
I thought, well, who's going to ask me that question? Because I'm not a Sanskrit scholar. But the spellings are a little different. That's all I know. Go back to what verse? Which verse was it?
First verse.
So Krishna, she's asking a very intelligent question. She's very, attentive. She noticed that the word Krishna, Krishno, was translated as Krishna Saka, the celebrated friend of Krishna, that means Arjuna. And Krishna is another name for Arjuna. And then Krishna to do with Sanskrit. Krishna's letters, Krishna is translated as Lord Sri Krishna, and then Krishna is Arjuna. I'm not a Sanskrit scholar, but there is a difference.
Prabhu, I think that's
A Sanskrit scholar? Yeah? Right?
I can give explanation.
Yeah, please. Explain this mystery. You want mine?
Yeah.
I'm out of my depth. Let's hear what it is.
Krishna and Krishna is one and the same. One and the same, no difference. Rama, Ramo, Ramaha, Ramo. It's just to get the meter right when you are singing Bhagavatam. That's
No, the point is this. Krishna's translated as Arjuna here.
yeah, Krishna. They use the word Krishna. It is one and the same. Krishna.
Krishna.
Krishna. Rama.
And the word for word is Krishna. Krishna is Arjuna.
Yeah.
And Krishna is Lord Sri Krishna.
Krishna Saka, Krishna.
I heard from an authority once that Arjuna is called Krishna and Draupadi is also called Krishna sometimes because of their complexion, because they're both blackish like Krishna. That might be why it is.
Nice one. Thank you. Thank you, Manji. And we can take my son or no?
Yes.
Any announcement of distribution? No.
You did them already.
Okay. Thank you. Is there something about Krishna? Hare Krishna, Nanda Kumara.
Hare Krishna, Nanda Kumara.
Nanda Kumara, Madana Gopala.
Nanda Kumara, Madana Gopala.
Madana Gopala. Oh.
Madana Gopala,
Hey.